stuntmen fall for a living, but every day people die or are seriously injured as the result of an unplanned fall. Many falls take place during routine work situations and are caused by the victim's failure to follow a few common sense precautions. Often they were relying on good luck to protect them from falling, just as it always had in the past. We may perform an unsafe act hundreds of times without a problem, and the fact that nothing happened gives us a false sense of security. But when you least expect it, that same unsafe behavior can end in a tragic fall. Studies reveal that most workers are injured by falls around the beginning and end of their careers. Workers who are new to the job and veterans who know the job inside out. That's because people who are still learning the ropes may be more concerned about doing a good job than about potential risks. And veterans know the job so well that they often overlook simple safety precautions. The fact is, most falls can be prevented by recognizing potential fall hazards and taking the necessary steps to avoid them. Let's briefly consider the causes of falls. Falls happen anytime you lose one of two things, footing or traction. A loss of footing happens when there is less than full contact between the sole of your shoe and the surface on which you're walking or standing. Loss of traction can happen anytime you take a step on a slippery surface like ice or the bathroom floor. To avoid falls, it helps to know the 5 major categories of falls: falls on stairs, tripping, slipping, faulty equipment, and unsafe acts. First, let's examine falls on stairs. Falling on stairs, especially when going down, can happen when you lose footing or traction. Falls on stairs result in more than 33,000 serious work injuries every year. When a body hits the ground from this height, it will be traveling at a speed of about 9 miles an hour, more than enough to cause a serious injury. There are a few simple precautions that you can take to prevent falls on stairs. Take it slow and watch where you're going. Carrying things that block your view is just asking for trouble. Use the handrail from start to finish, even if it means making more than one trip. Tripping is another major cause of falls. Whether it's a change in elevation like a curb, a pothole, or an extension cord, anything that can cause a loss of footing can mean a bad fall and possibly a crippling injury. Keep your eyes on the path ahead and be alert for tripping hazards of any kind. The next category is slipping. When possible, avoid walking on slippery surfaces. There may be times when you have to cross an icy or slippery area. If this is the case, you should be alert for icing conditions. The difference between a wet surface and one that is a sheet of ice is only a few degrees. Stepping onto an icy area when you don't expect it is double trouble. If you're not certain, test the surface with 1 foot before you commit yourself. Whenever you do encounter ice, take small steps, shorter than the length of your feet, and walk with your toes pointed outward. If you have to turn on a slippery surface, do it gradually. A sharp turn results in a sideways force, and that can easily lead to a fall. Next on our list of categories is falls caused by faulty equipment. Never trust your safety to broken or malfunctioning equipment. Rusted metal walkways, unstable or improperly assembled scaffolding, or greasy or splintered step ladders. They all have one thing in common: the potential for injuries. If you find an equipment problem, correct it or report it immediately. It might go unnoticed by the next person that comes along. The last category we'll look at is falls caused by unsafe acts. This includes such things as taking a shortcut by jumping or climbing over barriers instead of safely walking in designated areas, as well as climbing or standing on surfaces designed for some other purpose. Now that we've looked at the most common categories of falls, let's consider some of the ways to prevent them. Look for potential fall hazards and get rid of them whenever possible. Check floor conditions to see if the surface is wet, greasy, or cluttered. Look for holes, ramps, and other changes in elevation that might present a hazard. Make sure they're well marked and have them repaired whenever possible. Keep your mind on what you're doing and your eyes on what's ahead. Good housekeeping is especially important. Store personal items and equipment where they belong. Clean up spills as soon as they occur, and pick up trash and other items that could present a tripping hazard. Always check ladders, planking, and scaffolding before you put your foot on the surface. Many falls are caused by a loss of footing or traction. Wear shoes that provide good traction. When soles and heels wear thin, get them repaired or replaced. While high heels may be fashionable, they're also high risk. Wear shoes with sensible heels. Remember, maximum traction means minimum risk. Test every potentially slippery surface before committing yourself. Remember, preventing falls means avoiding risk. Be alert to potential fall situations. Pay attention to your surroundings. Practice good housekeeping and safety check all equipment before every use. Make it a habit to follow these common sense precautions. Otherwise, you too could become a number in today's fall statistics.